Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In our last video, I showed you guys that I received a new gas or propane griddle from Blackstone. So I have it all set up now, and it's actually later the same day, and I want to get it seasoned in. So you know, the griddle top comes just straight from the factory. It's it's steel, and it doesn't have a Teflon or anything like that, any kind of thing to coat it. So you want to get it nice and hot. You want to heat it up, put some oil on it and everything. Before we do that, actually, we're going to use a little bit of soap and water. After today, though, we won't ever use soap and water on this grill again, or on this griddle, I should say. So you only want to do it for the initial time. So let me show you what we got, and we're gonna get going here. So for anyone who's new to this, as am I, I'm gonna walk through what I know, what I've learned, and share it with you guys. All right, so here's the griddle. I've got my olive oil in here, extra virgin olive oil in here, and just some water. A small bowl with some soap and water. And like I said, you don't really want to put soap and water on the griddle. We're gonna do it just this once because it's out of the box right now. It came from the factory to here, and so we want to give it one nice clean. Hey Marzz, what are you doing?
I'm gardening.
Oh. All right, so I have attached the propane tank here. I'm going to open the valve. It's on here nice and tight and secure. The burners are in the off position, and the rest of the cabling is secured. So I'm going to go ahead and open the valve, turning it counterclockwise here. Then you're going to just kind of listen. You open all the way up, see if you hear anything, and then I'm just with my finger and a little bit of soap and water, I'm just going to sort of put some water in different places and see if it kind of foams up. You do this to see if there's any leaks, any gas coming out anywhere that's obviously not supposed to. You want to hit all the connection points there. So just kind of view it, get around from all sides. I don't see anything, which is a good sign. Just have some old rags here and just kind of pat it down, but it should be good to go. And then what we'll do is we will come over here to the griddle part, and I will turn it to light, push in and turn. Alright guys, so I don't know if you guys can see this, but when I go to ignite it, there's no spark. So that's why I wasn't getting the light right away. I think this igniter switch is too far away. So I'm going to move it a little closer, screw it back in. There we go. I think that's the trick. There we go. Aha. Voila. We have success. Alright, so that's good to know. I was searching all over. I googled a couple of things, and it's like, oh, just replace the battery in your igniter switch. And I'm like, pretty sure there's no igniter switch. Alright, so now that we know the burners are functioning, I shut everything back off, put the griddle on top. Now we're gonna just take a little bit of soap and water. I'm just gonna run it over the surface just to give it a good once over cleaning. Then I will wipe it dry. Then we're gonna start seasoning it, and that'll involve putting the burners to high, coating it with a little bit of olive oil and rubbing that around, letting it actually burn off. You're gonna see a color change. The top of the griddle is gonna go from this nice clean gray to a black. And once it burns off and I see the fumes stop coming off it and the smoke stop coming off it, then we're gonna do it all over again. We're gonna do this several times to start, again, what they call seasoning the grill. So let's go ahead. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that there. And like I said, I'm just gonna take this rag here, get this soapy water, not too much here. I'm just gonna give it kind of a once over, just to get the dirt and debris off, and any like residues or anything that might have come from the factory. And any leftovers from what I just did, this will pick it up. So now let's light these things up. So they're both on the high setting, and it's burning pretty good. I'm gonna let that heat up for just a quick moment, and then we will put some olive oil on it. And wow, right away though, you can feel the heat coming out of these. Alright, so I just want to show you something I picked up too. It's not a necessity, but it's a kind of a heat glove. It's not quite like a full-on oven mitt, but it is pretty insulated here, and it should help with the heat. So as I go over this with the olive oil and start seasoning it, it's gonna be pretty hot, and I want to be able to rub my hand over this. You could use tongs or something else too. I'm gonna try it with this since I went ahead and picked this up. This was like 12 bucks at Lowe's. So I'm just gonna give it a shot just so you guys are aware of what I'm using. And yeah, it's just extra virgin olive oil. It's the Select brand. It's like a Safeway Select product. I don't know if you guys have Safeway stores where you guys are at, but it's just like the store brand. So nothing too fancy. So I think it's getting pretty hot here. I think we're getting going. I think we can start our first coat. All right, so glove up. It's a little snug, but it does feel pretty thick here. All right, and so we're just gonna squirt this on. All right, not too much here, and then take our rag, just push it around, get all over everything. I want the sides too. All over it. And then we're just gonna let it burn off. You guys probably can't see it. I can see some of the steam or smoke coming off it just a little bit. So that's good. That's what we wanted to do. There is again that catch tray in the back. And do be careful, this does get hot. I can feel it here. It's funny, I'm wearing this glove and I already forgot, like, oh, I'm starting to touch it and realize how warm it is. But it's not a big deal. So you can see it's starting to get darker here. By the time we're done with this, the hottest parts of the grill will probably be the center and definitely over those tubings, those pipes. So you're gonna notice that those are gonna blacken first. You want to let this completely burn, so you know, patience is the name of the game. I unfortunately don't have a temperature gun just yet. Unfortunately, it's a funny thing. It's one of those things that I always thought, oh yeah, I should pick one of those up. Never did. And then now that this whole coronavirus thing has broken out, everyone wants one of those because it's a contactless, a non-touch temperature gauge. They're using it for themselves. So of course the prices have all shot up and they're ridiculous now, so I'm gonna have to wait it out. But no bother, it's not a huge deal. Be able to figure it all out. So okay, I'll bring you all in for this. I don't know if you guys can see the spots there starting to show up on the grill, and that's what we want. That's gonna again bring us into this seasoning process. Okay. I think we're ready for another coat. Okay, I want to wipe it all down. So I'm gonna have to check. I assume it's my deck because this deck is terrible. It's probably a little uneven. Because you notice how quickly that the oil wanted to run off in a particular direction. So it's not a huge deal. It's something I can deal with. Alright, so while the second coat's burning through and doing its thing, and we're working our way through the seasoning process, this does take a little bit of time. You want to let this burn for 5 to 10 minutes or so, and then just repeat it a few times. What's really going to break this in is actually just using it on a regular basis. So this is like a little bit of pre-gaming, if you will. We're just getting a jump start, trying to get some kind of coating on it so that it's has that kind of resistance there. You're not going to get food stuck right to it. And then yeah, the more you use it, the more you're going to break it in. Like I said earlier, anyone who's ever used a cast iron skillet may be aware of this process. You kind of got to break it in. You know, the first few times it can be a little rough, really. But yeah, it's great. But I just kind of wanted to share briefly. So it was my friend who turned me on to this. But then, you know, quickly jumping on YouTube and looking at videos and just seeing the versatility of it compared to the traditional like charcoal grill. That's what I'm always used to using. That's what I grew up on. That's just what we used. We had a propane grill for a real short time. You know, those are great. And that's what I've always known. So this is going to be something a little different. But I think it's really versatile, the types of foods you can do. And in theory, you can prepare the entire meal on here. You could be cooking, I think I mentioned previously, you know, tacos, for example. We make a lot of tacos all the time. So like street tacos, we're gonna make tonight actually. So maybe I'll do a video on it. Some carne asada. You can grill your onions on here if you want it grilled or raw. And then any other things, you know, you're making fajitas, you can cook the vegetables on here while you're cooking your meats. And then push it all to the side, keep it on low or warm, or even turn it off, because by then the griddle is gonna stay warm, obviously. You could turn this area here on a lower temperature and heat up your tortillas, and you did everything on one surface, one thing. You just gotta wipe it down when you're done, and you're finished. You don't have all these pots and pans and all these whatever to clean up. So that in and of itself is appealing to me. And we do like to grill. We like to, you know, we like to have friends over and hang out and just that kind of stuff. And then actually, just Marzz and I alone like to cook and eat that kind of food. So we'll see how this goes. This is brand new for me. We've never had this, but so far so good. I'm looking forward to it. It seems very promising. So we'll take you along with us on our adventures here. And I'll be honest, I chose the Blackstone just because it's the one my buddy had. I think there's some other comparable ones. Again, you tell me if you guys have something different and you like it. You know, share that with us. I think there's a lot to be had. This was just by chance. Which brings me, you know, I told you earlier I bought these squeeze bottles and stuff. They happen to be the Blackstone. You don't have to buy that, obviously. And I'm not sponsored by Blackstone by any way. It's all just happenstance. It's what I happen to purchase. So just throwing that out there in case there's any questions about that. Anyways, guys, that's how you season the griddle. So I appreciate you hanging out. Always like you dropping by. You know, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed the video, click the like button. And until next time, we'll see you then.